Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. I've had a lot of people ask me the last couple of weeks in particular, but pretty much since I started this channel, what my top 10 cryptocurrencies to invest in are, what I think people should put their money in, and I figured why not just make a video like that. Now, if you're looking for my normal news update video, that is coming later today, so stay tuned for that, and also subscribe if you're not already subscribed, just do it. Anyway, some disclaimers before I start with this. I am of course not a professional financial advisor, so please don't just blindly listen to what I talk about. See this video as more of a collection of ideas, a collection of things to maybe look into yourself a bit more. Absolutely do your own research before you invest in anything. Now I've decided on 10 coins that I'm going to talk about here. Some very obvious choices, some not so obvious ones. They are all in the top 100 market cap cryptocurrencies by market cap according to CoinMarketCap, and I'm gonna go through them in order of market cap. So this is not number 1 is the best, number 10 is the worst. I'm simply going through them in the order that they appear on CoinMarketCap. This is not a sorted list. I'm just going through 10 projects that I think are good investments, and I'm going to talk about the reasons briefly for most of them. Or at least for the ones where I feel it's necessary to talk about the reasons. Now, if I didn't select your favorite project, that doesn't mean I don't think it's a good investment. I had to narrow it down to 10. Honestly, I think a good 20 or 25 of the top 100 cryptocurrencies have very good chances of having a bright future. So me not talking about your favorite here or excluding that doesn't mean I don't think it's a good project, it's a good investment. I just had to draw the line somewhere. So let's get into it, shall we? And we're gonna start off with probably the most obvious choice, number 1 here, Bitcoin. Now, that is of course, everyone knows Bitcoin, everyone is probably involved with Bitcoin. If you've been watching my channel, you know I'm not at all a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think Bitcoin's technology is quite impressive enough for me to believe that it will continue dominating the crypto markets in the long term. I think there is a lot of innovation necessary for that to happen. But what I do think is that it has such a special position in the hearts and minds of a lot of people in the cryptosphere. And so much institutional interest is coming directly for Bitcoin, that despite its technologically being outmatched by newer tokens, I think it is almost certainly going to continue being one of the top cryptocurrencies, if not the top cryptocurrency, for a very, very long time, which means that it will almost certainly go up in value, probably to at least its high of about $20,000 that it was at earlier this year, late last year. So I think Bitcoin is probably the number 1 safest investment to make, which is why I'm including it here. I don't think you should necessarily put most of your money in Bitcoin, but I think with it having bottomed out like it has right now and with its trading range narrowing progressively, there's a very good reason we will see the price explode in the near future, and in the mid and long term it will likely remain one of the top cryptocurrencies, meaning you are dealing with relatively low risk in my assessment when you're investing in Bitcoin, which makes Bitcoin my first pick here. Number 2, we are still gonna be moving by just the first couple cryptocurrencies because these are number 1, 2, and 3 for a reason. Ethereum also needs no introduction, has also lost significantly in value but seems to be bottoming out now. Ethereum of course is a very much advanced blockchain over Bitcoin, has a lot of possibilities on it for dApps, for smart contracts. A lot of it is also happening in updates still. Has a lot of potential on it, a lot of interest, a lot of development happening on top of it, and it is integrated into pretty much every single exchange and every single major crypto project in the world, which makes Ethereum, in my opinion, another safe bet. But you're not interested in the safe bets, you're interested in the more out there choices, aren't you? So I'm gonna go through these first few relatively quickly. Now, number 3 is XRP. Don't worry, after this we're unhinging from the list and we're not just gonna go through the top 10 here. XRP is probably my number 1 choice. Actually, I said I wouldn't sort this list, but I feel for XRP I should point this out. Now, XRP is of course created by the company Ripple, who have a very ambitious task. They want to revolutionize how the international monetary transfer business is working. they want to deal with remittance in a new way, and they have a multi-trillion-dollar problem that they're trying to solve. And right now, with XRapid being out, with XCurrent being in more and more common use, with more and more banks and companies testing out their technology or signing on to use it, I think XRP has incredible upward potential. We have seen price predictions using basic mathematical models that are used for business valuations come to the conclusion that if XRP just takes over 10% of the market they are aiming for, the individual tokens should be valued at multiple hundreds of dollars each. I'm not sure how good that valuation is, but in general, I think it is hard to deny that Ripple and the XRP token in particular has a very, very bright future. Of course, we have also seen the price at almost $4 before. So even with it having gone up from about 25 to 45 cents in the last month or two, it is still severely undervalued, even compared to the price it reached earlier this year just off hype alone. Now, if it was able to reach $3.80 just off hype, what do you think will happen when international remittance is going through XRP at an increased rate, when the volume is exploding, and when people and banks have to buy and sell XRP many, many times every single day? I think XRP is an incredibly, incredibly good investment to make. Now, continuing on with at number 5 here, which is actually my number 4 pick, EOS. See, we're actually skipping something here. We're skipping Bitcoin Cash. EOS is a platform for decentralized apps that a lot of people have called the Ethereum killer, especially when it was first announced. I'm not sure I'm quite willing to go as far as to say it will be the Ethereum killer, but I think there is tremendous potential here. It's a network that very much concentrates on giving a lot of support to developers and being incredibly scalable, with scalability being one of the main issues that people bring up regarding both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum is much more scalable than Bitcoin, but it still has its issues. EOS apparently does not share these. Another thing that is very, very, very interesting about EOS is that on EOS you can build decentralized apps where the end user does not have to engage in micropayments. One of the big issues with decentralized apps is that on a lot of networks where developing decentralized apps is possible, every single transaction that is happening within these decentralized apps, pretty much anything you do in those decentralized apps, you have to pay a small, really small, but it adds up, fee. And EOS cuts out that fee for end users, making it incredibly interesting for this decentralized app development, which is why EOS is my 4th pick here. My next pick, and I really promise we're gonna get away from just following the top 10 here very soon. My 5th pick is Stellar. Now Stellar in many ways does similar things to XRP. Their token is called Lumens, was originally also called Stellar, but that was a bit confusing. The main thing that Stellar has going for it right now, in addition to its blockchain just being very technologically interesting, is that they have an ongoing high-profile partnership with IBM to work on international payment issues. So Stellar is the number 5 coin that I find very interesting, that I would say is a very good investment. Continuing on, we are jumping to number 9, Cardano, or the ADA token. In some way similarly to EOS, this is also a decentralized app and smart contract platform, and it is very, very technologically advanced compared to most older cryptocurrencies. Has pretty much a state-of-the-art blockchain with a lot of innovations that older tokens simply do not have. And here, once again, there's something very scalable going on, which for mainstream adoption, you need something that is scalable. If you ever want a crypto project to find mainstream adoption, you need to be able to do thousands, tens of thousands, ideally millions of transactions a second. And some projects are much closer to that than others, and Cardano at the moment appears to be one that has much more capacity for scalability than a lot of other tokens. They're also just incredibly ambitious. They're pretty much trying to do everything. Cardano is pretty much meant to be the all-in-one crypto project. It is supposed to be the blockchain that can do anything that other blockchains can do. Now, I'm unsure to which degree it really can do that, but the way I'm looking at it, at its current valuation with a market cap of under $2 billion and each individual token only costing 7 cents, even if it just even if it just does one of the many things it wants to do, even if it just has significant market share in any one area, that price per individual token will skyrocket, will probably go up to at least 20 times as of what it is right now. So if any of that were to happen, Cardano would take off like crazy. It just seems incredibly undervalued to me right now based on the potential of the technology. Moving on, and now we're actually going down a bit, my number 7 pick is Omise Go. Now, Omise Go you might not be as aware of because they're very much focusing on the Asian market. Omise is a venture-backed payment processor that was launched a couple of years ago, and Omise Go is their blockchain and token. The tokens are usually abbreviated OMG, which is just the best abbreviation for any token in my opinion. Now, once again, I think they are just incredibly undervalued. You see a market cap of 447 million, not even billion, million US dollars here, which currently puts the price of each token at $3. I believe they have been close to $20 before. Let's actually look at that briefly. Yep. Yes, we have seen these be worth over $20, over $24 before. So even if you just expect it to return to its previous value, that is a 7-time price increase, $3 to $24, 8-time price increase actually. But what I think is interesting here is that they're very much aiming towards financial inclusion for the entire world. They are a peer-to-peer payment system in some way similar to XRP and Lumens, but very much focusing on the Asian market and focusing on direct person-to-person payments rather than on aiding banks with their international payments. So not directly going for the same markets. So I wouldn't consider Omise Go in direct competition for either Stellar or Ripple, which is just more reason to be hopeful about this project in particular. Continuing on to number 8, and we're going even further now, Basic Attention Token or BAT. Now this one I am also a bit confused just by how undervalued it is. It should be valued higher. Now Basic Attention Token or BAT, their aim is essentially to, they saw an issue with the way the internet is currently monetized. They see an issue with the ad economy where every website is pretty much designed to show you as many ads as possible, to keep you on the page as long as possible so you see as many ads as possible, to make you click on ads. It's pretty much right now the internet is engineered to make you a consumer. And what Basic Attention Token is trying to do is they want to create a culture of sponsorship where we get out of that toxic system of large corporations collecting data on us, abusing that data in order to make us buy things. The aim for Basic Attention Token is to create a world where we have a new culture of sponsorship on the internet, where you use a decentralized platform to give money directly to your favorite content creators, your favorite websites, in a way that is proportionate to how much enjoyment they give you, how much time you spend on their website. And pretty much the killer app they have, their main use case, is that they're directly integrated into the Brave browser, which is the new internet browser created by the people who originally made Firefox. And Brave is quickly becoming a major player in the internet browser world, both on desktop computers and on mobile phones. Millions and millions of people have Brave installed, are using Brave. You see me using Brave right now because it's just a very, very good project, a very good browser, and it has Basic Attention Token and that new culture of sponsorship directly integrated into it. So I think Basic Attention Token BAT, a lot of potential in the future to go places, to really make a difference. And the BAT price will rise with that. Right now, $245 million market cap, that just seems laughably low for me. That just seems laughably low. If they even just take a small part of the internet, if they can get a small percentage of internet users to reconsider the way they are dealing with the internet, the way they are dealing with paying for material on the internet, with supporting their favorite content creators, they can be huge. I think BAT can absolutely be huge, and that is why it is my 8th pick for my top 10 cryptocurrencies that are good investments right now. And going even lower, we reach Golem at number 47. This is my 9th pick. Once again, one that I find incredibly undervalued at 17 cents per token with 1 billion maximum tokens in existence. Golem is one of these coins that was completely pre-mined, and then most coins were distributed in an ICO, if I remember correctly. But the vast majority of coins, I believe it's about 90% of them, have been distributed and are not with the company who originally mined them. So here we see very, very low market cap, 166 million. And what Golem is trying to do is actually very exciting. Golem is meaning to be a decentralized supercomputer, the world's first decentralized supercomputer. In fact, essentially the idea is that if you have some very computing intensive processes, you pretty much need a supercomputer. If you're rendering computer generated movies, if you're working with AI, there are a lot of things where you need a lot of computing power. And most people do not have that computing power. And even if you have access to a supercomputer, for instance, if you're working in a research institute or university that has a supercomputer, your access to that is usually very limited. You might get a few hours a week or even just a few hours a month. What Golem does is it's a decentralized supercomputer. You can pay with their GNT tokens to borrow computing power to do whatever you need to do. This has never been tried to that degree before and potentially could become absolutely huge. This is another coin that we've seen at a much higher value before. Once again, we're going to look at the past here. We have seen it at over $1 and right now it's at 17 cents. Now, if you look at where is it here? If you look at its total market cap at 166 million, that is less than 1% of what XRP has. So just even if the crypto markets don't grow any larger than they are right now, and we pretty much all expect the crypto markets as a whole to grow significantly in the coming years, even if they were to remain at the current size, all Golem would have to do is become as big as XRP for each token to be worth nearly $20 US. And with that incredibly ambitious and interesting concept, with that incredible use case where they could solve some real world issues, they could be used in cancer research, they could be used in creating art, they could be used in advancing AI, there are so many use cases for it. And even in our world where computing is advancing so quickly, supercomputers are still incredibly expensive, they cost millions of dollars to build. Being able to pretty much rent out a supercomputer like this, decentralized through the internet using their token, is huge. That is incredible. And I think there is a lot of potential for Golem for the GNT token, which makes it my number 9 pick. And my last one is a bit more of a wildcard, and we find it much lower in the top 100 here. Number 95, Funfair. Now Funfair you might have really just never heard about. Funfair is a decentralized casino platform. And it is very much going by under the radar right now, with each token valued at 1 cent and a total market cap of 71 million. Now their idea is essentially that they want to replace the current format of online casinos. Online casinos of course are a huge thing, a lot of people are gambling, a lot of people are sadly also addicted to gambling. Funfair wants to create a new ecosystem there, where all of that is happening in a decentralized network, where there isn't any one person who profits, where it is also just a fairer system altogether, but still a very profitable one, and they want to use their fun tokens to do that. Now, very much under the radar, but if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed they've had a lot of good news surrounding them lately. They have been getting casino platforms left and right. They are legally allowed to operate in some US states and some other countries, and they're pretty much just setting up to roll out pretty big projects in the future. And right now, in my opinion, you have a chance to get into Funfair before that happens. Now, will they succeed? I think it's incredibly, incredibly hard to tell. There are so many things that could stand in the way. But I think at the current price, at the current market cap, and with the potential that they might have, with the market that they're trying to get a slice of, Funfair is a very, very interesting token to, I would personally put a small amount of money in, but just some, because I think it's an interesting wildcard. I think it has a pretty good chance of becoming something, and even if it just becomes the number 50 cryptocurrency, that will be a huge change to its current value. But like I said, this one I'm not as faithful in. I haven't done as much research into them, into the people behind it, and into which possible roadblocks there might be. It's just a very interesting concept, and they are making strides to get there. And with that, I'm gonna end this video. Let's go through it again quickly. We talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, EOS, Stellar, Cardano, Omisego, Basic Attention Token, Golem, and Funfair. These are 10 cryptocurrencies that I think represent good investments right now. If I ignored a cryptocurrency that you support, that doesn't mean I don't think it's a good investment. I just had to draw the line somewhere. And keep in mind, this list was not ordered. I just read them out in the order that they appear on CoinMarketCap. Funfair is not my worst pick and Bitcoin is not my best pick. These are just 10 picks that I think are good investments for a variety of reasons. Once again, keep in mind, not a financial advisor, do your own research. This is just a suggestion from me, my personal opinion. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and if you want to get more like this and daily crypto news updates and discussion, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy my stuff, there are a variety of ways you can support them, all linked in the description. For instance, I have a Patreon where you can donate $1 or $3 a month for some sorry, I just had to burp in the middle of a word. Where you can pay $1 or $3 a month for some perks. You can also give direct crypto donations or use a variety of affiliate links in the description. You will also find my social media links there. There's an official Facebook and Twitter page for this channel, as well as an email address where you can ask questions for a potential question and answer video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.